welcome back subscribers and hello YouTube viewers. On this occasion we're off to the Ararat railway station and also we'll have a look at their turntable and roundhouse that I believe is down there. So the Ararat railway station is located on the Serviceton and Western standard gauge lines in Victoria, Australia. It serves the town of Ararat and was opened on the 7th of April 1875. It is 206 kilometres or 128 miles northwest of the state capital, Melbourne. The Ararat Railway Complex developed mainly between 1875 and 1929 is of state, historical, technical, architectural and social significance. It was originally established as a link between the Gold Centre of Ararat and Melbourne and subsequently became a link in the main interstate line to Adelaide. With the establishment of a branch line to Portland in 1877, Ararat became an important junction, and the further link to Avoca, Maryborough in 1890 established it as the cross point of an interstate and port hinterland system. It was also the controlling point for the Maroona-Geelong line established in 1913. It thus became the chief freight junction of the North Western Railway system, which covered the Wimmera, Western District and part of the Mallee. The development of the extensive wheatlands of these areas depended entirely on the extension of this railway system into the hinterland. Ararat's freight marshalling yards and its signalling system expresses this function. During 1985, the passenger facilities in the main station building were refurbished. However, during that time, rationalisation of the facilities began. Signal Box B was demolished in 1984 and the train control office following in 1988. The footbridge, which was located at the up end of the station, was destroyed in a derailment in May 1986. In April 1995, all services to the former broad gauge mainline to Ballarat and Melbourne were suspended. V-line passenger services westward to Dimboola had been withdrawn on the 21st of August 1993, and the Ballarat to Ararat services had been withdrawn on the 27th of May 1994. On the 11th of July 2004, the broad gauge line to Ballarat was reopened, with V-line passenger services being reinstated. The contract for the work had been awarded in February 2003. A diamond crossing and associated signalling had to be installed to allow the broad gauge line to cross the standard gauge line and reach the platform. In January 2005, the Maryborough line was booked out of use. The Murray Basin Rail project, which began in 2016, included reopening the line from Ararat to Maryborough. In early 2018, the line was officially reopened to Avoca after having sat idle for more than 13 years. Examples of the numerous additions and alterations to the station include the Portland Line platform and island canopy, the refreshment rooms, control room and the accommodation facilities provided for the male and female crews of the overland train. While these additions detract from the station's architectural integrity, they also express an escalating importance of the centre. So once again, all the credits, references, voiceover information I've provided will all be listed and linked into the description below. subscribers and hello YouTube viewers. On this occasion, doing something a little bit different. I think I've mentioned it in a few videos that some of the regional trains, or just about all the regional trains really, you can put a bicycle on to commute to some of those towns that I visited by car or motorbike. So I've borrowed a friend's bicycle, it's an electric one, and we're going to make our way to Ararat railway station to have a look at the turntable and round table or roundhouse. So here we are, a lot of announcements, so it's going to be hard to talk through this. I'll spin the camera around and show you where I am at the Southern Cross railway station to make my way to Ararat. So this is where we're going. It's platform 2A. As you can see, people are commuting into town with their bicycles. And this is the bicycle that I'm using for today. I'm not sure if you can hear me, so I'll speak a little bit louder. This is a friend's bike. It's his second, or his first, I should say, electric bike. He's since bought a newer one, a little bit more powerful, and a little bit more robust. But this has got a lot of kilometres, this old girl. And he's allowed me to borrow it just to see how difficult it actually is to commute to some of these rural locations by bicycle. So more than likely this will be the train we are going to catch. It has rocked in and they're just clearing it all. So it should be really, really good. Now for those who aren't aware and have never commuted by a train using a bicycle, I'll just show you how it all is. You just got to look for these doors that have a symbol for the bicycle and you can secure them there. And they've got Velcro to stop from tipping over, which is great.
Check will be done at Ballarat station. Make sure those travelling onwards in the back three carriages are moved up to the front three.
So we have arrived at Ararat railway station. It is a very nostalgic looking station. It's very old. It's got a lot of character. And when you spin the camera around, I'll show you what gives it that old school feel when it comes to railway stations. It's quite unique. You know, you get off the platform or off the train and straight away you feel like you're in another century. It's got that feeling about it. But I can tell you the train trip was terrific. Having the bike on the train was not an issue. It was very comfortable and it was a pleasant day. The sky is blue, so that's terrific. There's a little bit of wind in the air, so hopefully that won't interfere with the drone. But I'll spin the camera around and I'll show you what I've stepped onto, as in the platform, and it's an odd feeling. I guess if you come here every day, it's no big deal, but for me, it really is sort of like a nostalgic sort of look back in time. So that's the train I caught to come out this way. It takes about 2 hours to get here from Melbourne, maybe a little bit more, 2 hours, 20 minutes, something like that. But it's very comfortable, the time goes pretty quick. But just look at the veranda and these shields, or the barrier around the seating here. It's quite unique. And I do like the corrugated edges along the veranda there. I'm not sure if that's coming through. But yeah, very much old school. And it is a long platform. This platform goes for quite some distance. Just up here, I'll show you the signal box. Whether or not they're in play, I doubt it very much.
Worship, the stations between Dimboola
So if you're at all curious to know what the driver of a train's sort of cabin looks like, I should be able to just sneak in to this window and just look in. Gives you an idea of what it all looks like. I think that sort of should be able to give you an idea of what the displays he has. Looks like he's got a relatively comfy seat. And there you have it. So as you can see, it is quite a lengthy sort of platform, this thing. And there are buses that will greet you. And they're sort of timed if you're leaving Melbourne at the 7:53, I think it was, during the weekdays. And these buses will take you to places like Dimboola and also Adelaide. So they're hooked up at the same sort of schedule. And it's probably the most cost-effective way to get to Adelaide, I guess. So that's really good. So there is also the overland that will take you to Adelaide as well, but you do have a much cheaper option if you use the regional trains and then get onto the bus. So this is a bus that will take you onto from here, from Ararat, to Adelaide or Dimboola. But once again, it really is a nice old station. Never been here before. You can see probably on the other side there, there's the goods sort of platform. Whether or not it's still in play, I doubt it. It looks a bit shabby to me. But what they have here, which is quite interesting, are these trolleys. And I'll go and show you some of these trolleys. So here are these trolleys. Now, I would say they're probably just as old as the railway station itself. And I do like what appears to be on the wheels, two R's, one above the other. I'm not sure if it is an R, but it appears that way to me. Once again, you've got those girders that hold the veranda up. That's pretty much standard even in the suburban train stations that we've been to. There is a plaque here as well. Australian Railway Historical Society. Very good. I do like, this must be the new part, how it's got the curved surround there for the brickwork. That's definitely all new. And here's another one of those carriages. Well, not carriages, I guess. It's just a cart to carry stuff and goods. Now this is definitely the old part as well. And you can see this part is all out of timber. Once again, slightly different girders that hold up the veranda. But they've kept going with the corrugated look for that little edge at the edge of the veranda. Very good. Excellent. So we're going to make our way to the turntable. And that's why I've brought the bike, because it's a bit of a distance. You can walk it, I guess, but I thought I'd give the bike a go just to see how easy it is to commute on a bicycle. It is an e-bike, so I can tell you a little bit about the bike. The bike doesn't have a throttle, so to speak. It's pedal generated. You've got a pedal to give the assistance of the electric motor to make it work. So it's a pedal assist bicycle, which I think are terrific. And this is relatively old. I think if you were to look it up, this is not the latest model. And as I've said, it's something that my friend has allowed me to borrow. He has purchased another bike, and for his wife, and this is just one that he had sitting spare. So once again, here's the signal box. I don't think it's in play anymore. I think everything must be electronic these days. But it's good it's still here. You can see all the levers up there. So very, very good. And this is just another angle of the railway station. And I believe the train we arrived in is about to leave as well. Now don't ask me what this thing is, I have no idea. Now there is some sort of museum directly next door to the railway station, so I'm not sure what that's all about. It isn't open, so I can't really tell you too much, but it's definitely a museum of sorts. You can probably see through those windows there, they've got some displays of railway infrastructure. And here we go, we've got something here. So these are the hours when this is open. And today being a Thursday, I miss out. So if you're going to come here on a Friday, and it will fit in with your timetable. So if you were to arrive on a Friday, you could get in here to Ararat via Melbourne and back again in the same day without getting home too late, and still catch the opening hours of the museum. Well, something's happening. So this is the railway station. You can see the new bits and the old bits pretty much by the vanilla bricks, if that's what they're called. I think they're still called vanilla bricks, the lighter coloured bricks. So this is your waiting room, and you've got the customer service. Pretty good. There are some historical photos here as well within the station itself. So we'll just have a quick look. I like this one. I think we might have this one from the State Library. So there are bathrooms at the station as well. They're all indoors, which is great. And there you have it. Great little station. A lot of history behind this one for sure. Okay, so we're going to make our way to that turntable. So yes, we have arrived to the turntable, and it still does exist, which is quite interesting. So there it is, and directly behind it is the it's not really a, what would you call it, a quarter of a roundhouse, I guess, and that's about it. But wow, it's good to see that things like this still exist, and if you do go exploring, you can stumble into it. That's just great. So as you can see from the distance, there are some railway tracks that lead you straight to this turntable. In parts of the tracks have gone, but in other parts they reappear, and it's quite easily sort of to follow to get yourself here. You can probably see the tracks right there in front of me. Now I'm not sure if it's going to come through in the picture, but you've got train lines or train tracks from all sorts of directions making its way to this turntable. So I'm not sure if there were actually sheds on this side as well back in the day. I'm not 100% sure. So as you can see where I'm walking, there's just a constant run of train tracks. So I'm sure there must be someone out there back in the day who might have seen this actually operational with all these tracks in play, with maybe the signal house doing more than what it is now, because it looks like it's barely a quarter of a circle to call it a roundhouse. So there's your quarter of a roundhouse, I guess is what we'll call it. It does look very much, from as I'm walking up to it, that it's no longer in play. It's not even being used as a business of any sorts. You can see where the gates are, where the trains would have gone in to get serviced or park up for the night. And as you can see, the distance to the turntable is just in front. But there is a door open, so we'll have a bit of a look. There might be a train in there, who knows? Oh no, it's just an open space. Wow. And you can still smell, it does have an unusual smell. I won't say it smells like coal, but boy, it is a very unusual smell. But it's still here. It's amazing. I think this is just as impressive as the Ararat railway station. You can see where staff would have come, would have cleaned up, prepared for their day, gotten spare parts here. As you come closer and closer in here, it does have an aroma that suggests it's more like a motor mechanic's place. This is the wash-up area, obviously, for the workers, and I'd imagine they got quite grubby. It's also the toilet area. It's all still here. Very good. So there's showers here for the staff, toilets, a basin to wash your hands. Here we've got some sort of, just a smaller room, maybe this was their little kitchen for back in the day. And this is where the guys that never got their hands dirty would hang out, I guess. It's also got another little kitchenette area. Yeah, it does really have an unusual smell. So that's great. I wasn't expecting this at all. So we'll just go around here, getting in as many images as we can. So as you can see, the trains would be parked up, brakes done, things oiled, and whatever that you used to do back in the day to maintain, I'm assuming, steam engines, but who's to say, because I don't know. And once again, I don't want to pretend that I'm some sort of expert at all. I'm really not. I'm just fascinated by this sort of stuff, and when I get the opportunity, I will source it out, and I hope it brings a lot of pleasure to those who are more in tune with this sort of railway industry and infrastructure. So as you can see, there's a gaping big hole where the turntable is, and I'm assuming this business on the right hand side is where the guy would spin it around with some sort of electric motors. But it's still here. I think that's terrific. You can see where the old parts and the new parts are in, and you can see it's all been disconnected. Just terrific. Yeah, you can just see how the roundhouse must have gone a long way. It goes all the way around. So I'm assuming back in the day it was a proper roundhouse that went right around to park up who knows how many locomotives or trains. So you can pretty much see where the roundhouse stops. And it does look like it's a lot more newer sheeting where they've stopped it, and I do believe it's gone. It used to be a full roundhouse for the trains. We'll just get a bit of an image of this place on this side. So this is the back of the roundhouse, what's remaining. You can see that it's very well ventilated, obviously, for all that steam and whatnot to escape, so the poor workers don't have to suffer in it when they're doing their maintenance. It's good that it's still here. It's amazing that you can actually walk right up to it. No graffiti, a little bit of vandalism in that office area, but that's really about it. So once again, I just hope it sort of brings back some memories for some people that might have worked here at one stage. It's interesting, you can actually drive a car to this location. I came the back way where you really couldn't drive a car. It's perfect for a bicycle though, and maybe a motorbike, I guess. But you can drive around to this location. Once I get the drone up, you'll see it a lot more clearer. And I'll try to follow the tracks that's remaining that took it to Ararat railway station. So I'm riding on the track at the moment. You can see it on the left there. So you'll see two tracks veering from, or moving away from the Ararat railway station. It's not the live one, it's this one here. And it's pretty much, I'm just trying to show you now the way I came. And yes, you can drive here. But I'd say to go on the main road, not here. I think this is just for the service workers. And here is the old water tanks, which I don't think I recall seeing in some of the historical photos. I could be wrong. Once again, I get all the information sometimes months ahead before I actually make my way out here. So I can't recall it, because I might have about half a dozen little projects that I'd like to sort of investigate or go and explore, and so I forget some of the finer details. But this is the track I took. I think it is pretty much a service sort of road for those who are working on the train tracks. I'm not sure. There's no signs anywhere to really tell you what you can and can't do, and I did cross just over here, but you can go by car directly from the Ararat railway station. But I came along this route. Now once again you can see where the tracks sort of pretty much lead to where the roundhouse and turntable is, and you can see where the other track is. We're going to go up and over that one, and that's the way I came. Now I have to admit, I do like this bicycle. You're actually forced to pedal to get any assistance whatsoever. As I mentioned, there's no throttle on this bicycle, so in a way you're sort of keeping fit. So I'm just showing you the way I came by bike, as in bicycle, and you'll see where I've come along under this bridge to make my way, and this is pretty much the back way. Probably not advisable. If you've got your kids with you or something and they're interested or whatnot, you're better off going on the main road. And in hindsight, I probably would have gone on the main road also. So here we are at the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to have a seniors meal at the pub behind me. Very much a sort of an Art Deco sort of thing. So if you did like the video, by all means, click on the like button or that thumbs up icon. Please consider subscribing. Subscribing doesn't cost you 1 cent, and it really does help the channel immensely. But most importantly, stay safe, commute safe, and have a great day. And thank you for your time for watching.